DJ
Manny.
Phil.
Scoop B Radio. You know it's official if Barry Bonds said, yo. The best in the business. That's word to Scoop. You either tuning in or reading the word from Scoop. He give you the business. He show you the proof. If Scoop B say it, you know it's the truth. Sports and entertainment. He give you the mix. Some of the biggest interviews. He give you the fix. On iTunes, the #1 podcast, the Jordan, the journalist, the GOAT, so why ask?
Watch out.
About it. If he naming them, scoopd.com, do numbers like Chamberlain. Pen game is a gift, got the gift to gab. If he say it is gospel, it's as simple as that. Now pay attention and you can see the way it go. Enough of this talking. This is Scoop B Radio.
You're listening to Scoop B Radio.
Get on his Instagram now. Follow him. At Scoop B, follow him.
Yes, sir.
You're listening to Scoop B Radio with Brendan Robinson. Scoop B Radio.
Scoop B Radio. And you hail it plane on the train everywhere you need to be. I am Brendan Scoop B Robinson. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Scoop B, Instagram and Snapchat at Scoop_B. And make sure, most importantly, that you subscribe to the Scoop B Radio podcast, available on all streaming platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Play, TuneIn app, Stitcher app, iHeartRadio, or simply by visiting ScoopBRadio.com. We average anywhere from 2 to 3 million streams annually, and one of the reasons why is because we have newsmakers at every stop, no different here, as we got my main man, two-time NBA champion, Vernon Maxwell, on the line. Mad Max.
Hey, what's up, Scoop?
Man, I'm doing good. How you feeling in this COVID?
Oh, man, it's crazy out here right now, man. I mean, it's so crazy. I just try to stay at my place and interact with my kids, my family, man, and just stay out the way, man, because it's crazy right now, man. It's scary.
It is scary. Tell me something. You, I ask this with everybody who comes
Scoop
on.
B Radio.
What are 3 things that you learned about yourself being quarantined?
Oh, man. Shit. I hate being by myself. Because I ain't got nobody, so I hate being by myself. What else? Not liking to cook all the time and everything closing down early. That's what I did. 3 things I hate, man, most.
That sounds pretty normal. I think COVID is probably around the time where people are really taking inventory and friends, family, and just business and who's really important. And the fact that you were so honest, I'm thankful for that, because I genuinely think I've been trying to get this interview with you for the last 3 years. And one of the things that I find interesting about you is in today's NBA, we really lack a guy that's really honest and to the core honest. I think.
Yeah.
Is there anybody in the NBA, in today's NBA, that reminds you of you or is close to you, personality-wise?
Well, probably, oh my goodness. I would say probably Patrick Beverly more, yeah.
Why?
That's more like me. Yeah, he's more like, Patrick Beverly.
Why?
Yeah, because just the tenacity, the energy, bringing it every night, just agitator, aggravator, agitator, always doing some shit, always in the middle of something. The lowest man on the floor always got some shit going on. And that's how I kind of played like that, I was always, like, I used to say, well, damn, why your little ass always saying some shit? I tell them the floor with all them big boys. Yeah, because, shit, I ain't know no other way to play. That's why I played. So.
Do you like the Clippers this year? Do you think that they stand a chance against the Lakers in the Western Conference?
Well, I like the Clippers, they have a legit chance.
Scoop B Radio.
But the Lakers, they got something good over there. They look real good right now. So I don't know. It's going to be tough for somebody to beat them in a 7-game series, I think. Right now, where the season's going right now, because obviously they're winning on the road. And, they 5,500 at home, so they're 4-4 at home. And I think they've lost like 2, 3, 4 games on the road. games on the road, I think, but they're better on the road than they is at home. That's crazy disaster for another team when you like that in the playoffs. So I just don't see anybody beating them in a 7-game series.
Yeah, the Lakers are a superpower. They added superpower by adding Montrezl Harrell to their potent roster, as well as Dennis Schroeder, to Anthony Davis, LeBron James's, and Kyle Kuzma's core. What did you make of the Lakers offseason? What did you make of their play early in the season?
Well, I mean, they added great pieces. I mean, I love Montrez. I mean, he does it for me. I mean, just that's another guy I can say like reminds me of myself. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But he just, I love his game, his energy. He brings it every night. He's gonna score. He's gonna rebound. He's gonna play defense. I just love him. And then, I mean, and I like Tyrone Lue because I like him as a head coach. I think he'll do a great, like he's doing a good job. You know what I mean? I thought he should have been, he should have always been a head coach, you know. But, I mean, I love him too, so. But, I mean, I'm just saying, man, I mean, I just think, I mean, you know, the Clippers, they're I think they're, you know, the second best team in the West.
You had me cracking up last month. You tweeted on January 14th, 2021 at 1:13 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm the Beard, I'm taking a page out in the Houston Observer, thinking
that's right.
For the past 8 years. For those returning to the party, James Harden is now a member of the Brooklyn Nets, was traded. What? Your creativity when that tweet was funny, what sparked that?
Scoop B Radio.
Well, I mean, because shit is real. I mean, it's not a lie. I mean, shit. I mean, I love James Harden now. I love him, his family, and everybody. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I ain't no dog, my guy. I love him. You know, that's my man. But, you know, I said that just being funny. You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing. I mean, shit, that's my guy. You know what I mean? But yes, I mean, he should.
Your former Houston Rockets teammate Mario Elie grew up with Dredrick Irving, Kyrie Irving's dad, in the South Bronx, along with Rod Strickland. Harden was traded to the Nets. What do you like about Brooklyn with Harden?
Well, you know, somebody got to take the back seat to somebody, and Harden seems like he's taking the back seat to everybody. He's been more facilitator than more of a scorer, you know, now. And I mean, somebody had to do that. I mean, for that stuff. I mean, but they still got to play some damn defense, though, too. I mean, come on, goddamn, got to play some damn defense. You can't be goddamn scoring 140 points and losing shit. I mean, good God, goddamn crazy. You got to play some goddamn defense. So, I love the team. I love what they put together over there. That's my guy, Steve Nash. You know, I mean, love him and everything. So, good luck, man. I just think like somebody had to take the back seat, and Harden's bigger man. He took the back seat, and then let Kyrie and KD just do their thing. And, you know, that's it.
Do you like a Lakers-Nets matchup in the finals, or do you think Philadelphia poses a bigger threat to Brooklyn in the Eastern Conference?
I think Philly poses a good threat to Brooklyn, but I don't think they can beat Brooklyn. It's going to be tough for somebody to beat Brooklyn in a 7-game series too. Now, shit, you got to see this shit every night. They ain't going nowhere. This shit ain't going nowhere. These motherfuckers really trying to cut your fucking head off. You hear what I'm saying? These motherfuckers are really, really coming at you. Every time they get the ball, you got KD, Kyrie, and Jank. Man, these motherfuckers really trying to hurt somebody. They're really trying to kill. These motherfuckers, all three are supposed to be in prison. Them motherfuckers killers, man. They serial killers. Them motherfuckers, all three of them motherfuckers. Them motherfuckers supposed to be locked up, man. Sorry, them motherfuckers serial killers, man. Them niggas killed.
Scoopy Radio on the line with Vernon Maxwell, talking all things NBA, basketball as well.
And the rebound picked up by Otis and back out to Vernon. Vernon puts up a three. Yes! Vernon Maxwell hits a three-pointer to tie the game at 88.
You are building a social media presence. You are already that dude. But I think if you would allow me, I think you were Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes before Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson were an entity post-career. I think you tell it like it is. I think in a way that maybe Charles Barkley couldn't be. You are that alternative in that regard. Do you accept that?
Yeah, I really do. Yeah, I appreciate that. I accept that very well. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, man. And that's exactly that's you right. You hit it right on the head.
Tell me something. Gary Payton had the ability to frustrate Michael Jordan, to talk sugar, honey, iced tea. So did Reggie Miller. But you may not have been the all-star, respectfully, that Reggie and Gary were, but you got under Michael's skin. Why?
Well,
B Radio.
You know, we all love Mike. Mike was the best player I ever played against, you know, and shit. And, you know, I just, you know, when I play against somebody, I can't respect them. You know, I mean, everybody respected Mike. You know what I mean? I ain't fuck you, Mike. I ain't respecting him before I played. You know what I mean? I love Michael Jordan. You know, that's my guy. I ain't got no problem with him. But goddamn, when I'm playing against you now, I don't goddamn, we both put on our shorts the same way before we came in this game. You had to put your one leg in one, I put mine and did the same damn thing. So, and goddamn it, so we both human beings. So shit, everybody can get got. Shit, all you gotta do is not be nervous and scared and shit. And I just did something all these other motherfuckers wasn't trying to do. I used to try his ass all the time. That's all.
Was Michael scared of you?
No, Mike ain't that. No, Mike's definitely boy. All right, Max, I'm gonna beat your ass now. All right, Max. That's what he would tell you. I used to say, all right, laugh at that shit.
And there's a steal, Maxwell. Maxwell on the drive. Nice pass, Kenny Smith for two. And Vernon Maxwell.
Your Rockets teammate, Kenny Smith, appeared on the Scoopy Radio podcast a few years ago. And I asked him.
That's my guy.
Of course. Queens is owned, TNT's owned. I asked him, this was in 2017. I asked him. Now, hear what I say before I ask it. I said to him, had Michael not retired, would the Bulls have won those two championships? You did the two that your Rocket team won in 94, 95. He said, we would have beat them. And actually, everyone forgets, he was playing the second year. He was winning 45.
He got lost to Orlando.
Exactly. Then he said, even if a good, healthy Michael takes them to 7 and maybe wins, we would have beat the Bulls without a question. They didn't match up well with us, and during those years that they were actually winning championships, which wasn't the playoffs. He then went on to say, we were 8-2 against them during those years.
Right.
We matched up well with them. We wouldn't have beat them. Scared, I tell you that much. Now, I asked your teammate Robert Horry the same question. He said we would have beat them. I asked Clyde Drexler. He said that the Rockets would have beat them. You, I think, are the unofficial spokesman for the Rockets in a way Hakeem cannot be. $1 million question. Would it have been a seven-game series with the Bulls in 94 and 95? And would you as the Rockets beat Michael and the Bulls?
Well, we would have beat them, and it could have went 7. I don't think it would have, though. I think it probably would have went 6. But, I mean, we definitely would have beat them. I already know that, man. We used to beat them all the time, man. We used to beat them at their place, and we used to beat them in the old Chicago Stadium. We used to beat them in our place. Ain't nobody used to do that. We used to sweep them. We was like Kenny said, we was 8-2 against them, man. So when they was winning them championship years, we was the ones beating their ass.
Maxwell with a steal, saves it to Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith back to Max. Max takes it to the middle. He's fouled, and he goes. Vernon Maxwell.
Why is Hakeem so overlooked in that Jordan era?
I don't know, because, his thing was Mike, it's about Mike, so, and that's pretty much it, man. I mean, it was a Mike era during that year. Unfortunately, Dream, got caught up in the wrong era because unappreciated, you know what I mean? But, shit, man, that motherfucker, I ain't never played with nobody like that, man. That motherfucker, night in, night out, boy, he gonna get it to you. I'm talking about sometimes I used to be like, well, damn, where that move come from? God, I ain't never seen that shit. Where'd that come from? Man, this man was unbelievable, man. I ain't never seen a big man do what he do. It was unbelievable, man. The best player I ever played with, right there, Hakeem Olajuwon.
When I look at Hakeem, he literally reminds me of a center that was a guard. He played soccer, and his crossover was the pump fakes, the pivot, the drop step,
right,
and more. The only person that I can really think of that mirrors him, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, just from watching him over the years, within the last 15, 20 years, is maybe Kevin Garnett. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah. Dream used to this is what Dream used to do. Dream used to be like, when we used to practice and shit, with Houston, the bigs would be down there. He'd go down there and start out with the bigs doing the big guy moves at first. And then eventually he's going to end up down there with us guards down there doing the guard moves and doing that stuff. He was always practice with the guards when he was practice with the bigs. You know what I mean? So we already knew he had the crossover. He had all that stuff because he was down there with us working with the guards. So I know if, he's down there working with us and he was, and then I know a big man couldn't stay with that, what he was doing. You know what I mean? Because he was shifty. You know what I mean? He could spin, he could cross you over. Yeah, he could blow by you. It's like now you see him and now you don't. It was crazy how good he was, man. I never ever seen nothing like it in my life. Like every night, I was surprised.
Yeah, the deceptiveness, I think even in that era, I feel like big men back then were former soccer players. I look at Hakeem and I look at Ewing. Their footwork was crazy to me.
Yeah, those two big guys that did, they really had great footwork. Like we said, and you said it already before, I think 5 minutes earlier here, Dream was a soccer player, so, shit. He used to have that ball on his foot, put it on his knee, dribbling that ball he'd handle that ball on his feet better than he handled it in his hands. It was crazy how he used to handle that basketball with his feet, just keeping it up in the air on his feet, on the neck, put it up on his knee, then throw it up to his head, then bring it back down. I was like, well, damn. So that's why, feet work, man. That soccer thing, that's everything, man. That's why I advise people to let the kids play soccer when they're younger.
Vernon, June 17th, 1994. Do you remember that date? The OJ case.
Oh, okay.
There was a choice for NBC.
Still say the OJ case.
So the OJ case, the 95 million viewers had to choose between watching the NBA Finals and the OJ case.
They didn't have to choose because they cut our game off because you got to understand we was playing on NBC.
Yes.
And they cut us off and then put them motherfuckers chasing OJ down the highway.
So Kenny Smith told me a story. He told me that there was a timeout being called.
Yeah.
Tom Jonovich called a timeout. And he said that there were TVs on the scorer's table. And Rudy Tomjanovich yelled at Kenny and said, Kenny, what are you doing? He said, OJ's on the run. What was that conversation like on the bench? At what point did you guys know that OJ was on the run? What was that conversation on the bench with the Rockets during the NBA Finals?
No, man, they had came. They had told us what had happened.
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't see it, but Kenny might have thought about it. I don't know. I guess he said he saw it on TV, so he was bringing the ball to the floor, but I didn't see it.
Okay.
And Rudy was just saying, that what had happened. So, and then that's when we knew. But I was like, well, damn, why don't they don't kill it? Shouldn't feel like me.
So they say that part of the reason why he took so long to turn himself into the Los Angeles Police Department was because he was listening to you guys on the radio.
No. I ain't never heard that about it. Yeah. That's something new. So they riding down but Al was riding down the road and he was listening to us on the radio.
Yeah.
No, I don't know about that. I think that might be some false fucking.
Well,
Lord.
It's good for storytelling. We got to ask OJ.
No, it is. That's right. No doubt.
Scoop B Radio on the line with the one and only Vernon Maxwell, talking OJ, talking Rockets, talking today's NBA. You made mention of Hakeem Olajuwon. I want to go back to that for a second. Does Joel Embiid, any parts of his game, remind you of Hakeem Olajuwon?
Yeah, he's got great footwork. He has great footwork, and he's got touch, and I mean, yes, he does. Yes, I mean, he's real close. I mean, not close, but he's real good. I like Joel Embiid. Yeah, I like his footwork. I like what he does. I mean, when he really puts his mind and when he want to play that night, he's a beast. But I mean, sometimes he lay down and he don't play up to his potential. But that's one thing that's the difference between him and Dream. Dream always led us.
Right.
Yeah, he was always our leader. Always our lead scorer, always our guy. Might have one night where a guy go get off and get his stuff going and stuff, and it might be that night, but normally it's Dream. So that's the only thing, the difference I see with Embiid. But he has great footwork and he's close to. I mean, he can be like Dream, but he just don't bring it every night like Dream does. Dream used to bring that thing every night.
Is Joel an MVP candidate this season?
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Vernon comes out and gets it. Shot clock is down to 1. Vernon puts it up, and the Houston Rockets win it. The Houston Rockets win it.
What I found interesting in doing research on you is that you have the distinction of being one of just 9 players in the NBA history to amass 30 points in a single quarter, accomplishing that feat en route to a 51-point outing on January 26, 1991, against the Cleveland Cavaliers. What was in your Wheaties that night?
No, I don't know. I think that's one night I finally went home and got some rest. The night before the game. I'm just kidding. Let me stop. Nah, man. That was just a blessed night for me, man. I was just blessed. And I got going, and it was a close game, too. I mean, and, Rudy, called my number and called my number, and I got going, and I just started making shots, and Rudy just kept going my way, and said, the shooter gonna keep shooting. And that's what I did. And I just got there. I was a blessed night for me, man. I mean, really, it was like an out-of-body experience and everything, man. When I was doing it, I didn't know what the hell I was doing after. I mean, for real, man. It was crazy. It was crazy until after the game, until I actually saw it. Especially that fourth quarter when I had 30, points. And so that was weird. It was crazy.
Was Mark Price guarding you?
Elo, Price, I got switched out with Doherty. I got switched out with driving down there, just Larry Nance. Everybody got a piece of it.
Well, they did or they didn't, because you dropped 51.
Yeah. And then I had a great fourth quarter. That was a blessed night, man. I swear.
Scoop B Radio.
Yeah, it was a blessed night. Yeah.
Gentlemen, first, you were still talking.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. You got it.
No, what I was going to say is, when you talk about 51, I feel like, again, when you being the 80s and 90s legend, NBA legend that you are, I feel like y'all don't get the same shine that today's NBA player gets because there's no social media.
Right. Back in the days, there was no social media. Yeah, nowadays, these young kids, you be mediocre, boy. You got them be a superstar. God Almighty, I don't know what the hell going on. But it is, but it is. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm happy for these young kids. I'm happy for them. I mean, but only thing I just want to say, these young kids. Only thing I be having a problem with. If you know you can't shoot a jump shot, and then you come back the next year and can't shoot the fuck. I mean, you got to work on that shit. I mean, you got to have somebody. These kids need to. You got to have somebody that can help you with that. I mean, because you make too much money not to have somebody show you how to shoot a jump shot. I mean, because come on, man. Good God, man. It's crazy, man. I'm looking at it right now on TV right now. And I'm looking at a bunch of bricks being shot out here. I mean, if I cut TV, that basket beat up.
I take that question about modern era versus your era and raise you this. The Brawl in the Palace about 10 years ago with Ron Artest and Ben Wallace and all those guys. If your incident that happened in '95 when you ran into the stick stands and you got suspended for 10 games and you were fined $20,000, do you think that in that era you would have been fined and suspended the same amount?
No, that was the wrong number. Let me say that was 300,000.
Damn, you got fined 300,000?
Yeah, I was like every 10 games I was making 300. Yeah.
Okay, because I looked at the Wikipedia and it said the NBA suspended you for 10 games.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Okay,
that's a lie. Okay, I lost 300,000. Yeah, I lost 300,000, my brother.
So, not to count anybody's pockets, but if that incident that happened with you in '95 had happened during the Brawl in the Palace era, do you think that the same punishment would have been handled? Do you think the punishment would have been handled the same way?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think it would have. Yeah. I mean, the NBA, they're pretty fair. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem with them. They're pretty much fair. You know what I mean? What I did, I shouldn't have did it. You know what I mean? I should have handled it another way. You know what I mean? And that was all on me. So, I regret it. That I did it, but at the time, I was upset, and I probably maybe shouldn't have been playing ball at that time because my stillborn daughter had passed away, and this man was talking crazy about my stillborn daughter. So, I don't know. He had to know what he's talking about because I don't know. But then, I don't know. And then I was telling the security guy he didn't want to handle it. So, I should have handled it different, man. I was a professional athlete. I should have did better. That was all on me.
Shifting topics. In the NBA, in today's NBA, you have tons of guys that are, you got the Giannis's, you got the KDs, people trying to figure out who's going to be the next throne. LeBron is the OG of the league at this point. When I look at the NBA, Michael is considered the legend. Kobe is a close second. I look at your era of basketball, and I feel like Clyde Drexler, if Michael was the top two guards in the league, Clyde Drexler was a close second, but didn't get his recognition because it was Michael's league. You as a elite defender, did you guard Clyde and Michael similarly or different?
No, it was like night and day. Shit. I had to guard. I guarded Mike totally different than I guarded Clyde. Clyde, I love Clyde to death. My gosh. But, Clyde was, pretty much predominantly right-handed guy, So I jump on that side on Clyde. But, Mike can go right, left, and, Mike can pull up, and Clyde can do all that stuff, too. Clyde he was just like a bull. He was strong like a bull. When he gets like it's always downhill with him, and you can't really you can't let him get to going downhill. Once he gets going downhill, Clyde gets it, you can't stop him. It's going to be tough because you got them big old shoulders and hit you with them shoulders and knock you all around. So it's tough, and he's athletic. But Mike was just he had everything. I guarded him totally different, man. because Mike did everything and Clyde was, I mean, right there similar. It's like 1A and 1B. So, you know what I mean? But it's totally different guarding both of those guys. Who I used to, guard those guys.
I'm fascinated by defensive players or guys who guard the top perimeter guy or the top swingman on the opposing team. I read about Jason Terry, who he would, if I'm not mistaken, would wear shorts of the opposing team to kind of get a feel of how their shorts felt. So he would get all 30 or all the 29 other teams in the league at that point. I'm fascinated about your process preparing for the opposing team's top player. How soon in advance were you preparing, watching video of, I guess, a certain matchup, or like what did you kind of do that was out of the ordinary?
Never ever look ahead. I concentrate on the game at hand that I'm getting ready to play. I don't give a damn if it's Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler, I don't give a damn who it is. I know I got them in a week. Like in the same week, I got another team. I got to concentrate on that team that I got coming up. And then, but you're going to glance and look and see like, damn, okay, Chicago coming in this motherfucker. You better be ready. You're going to see that in the back of your mind. It's right there in the back of your mind, So, you think about it, they're coming, and then you hear the people around the city and, telling you, oh, yeah, damn, I got to get my tickets for that Chicago game. I got Chicago next Saturday. So you hear all that shit too. So, and then you got Mike coming in there. So, that's it.
Vernon, why is John Stockton the dirtiest MF in the league?
That motherfucker is dead as hell. That man used to do all kind of shit. They used to let him get away with so much shit than referees, man. He'd trip you, he'd knee you. I like the way the motherfucker played now. Cause the motherfucker winner. You know what I mean? And they let me get away with that shit. You think I won't keep? I would do that shit too. So he was just dirty, man. I love John Stockton though. He was just a dirty motherfucker when he played. It's cool though.
Tell me something. Who is today's, two-part question, who is today's Clyde Drexler and who is today's John Stockton?
Drexler. No. Well, I gotta give cause Zion, he go left hard all the time, like Clyde. He gonna go left. So, and who put that Clyde Drexler? You said the other person was who?
Today's modern day John Stockton.
John Stockton. No. Shit, the old boy there. Oh, damn boy was over there at Duke. Now he in the league. Grayson, whatever.
Grayson Allen?
Yeah,
That's real. For those who are listening to Scoop B Radio, make sure that you guys follow Vernon Maxwell on Instagram as well as Twitter. Vernon Maxwell 11 on Instagram is the handle, and I'm looking at you riding bikes.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to see you. You kind of got like the Jadakiss thing going on. Remember Jadakiss when he was bald, and now he's got the dark fade.
Uh-huh.
And I look at you, and you got the hair. Did you purposely shave your head?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I purposely shaved my head when I was back in the league. Yeah, I can grow hair. I just didn't I thought I looked crazy without hair, so that's why everybody say you look like a little different, a little younger when you got hair and shit. So I used to shave it off, try to look like I was a little crazy.
I think that gave you a competitive advantage.
Yeah, I thought it did too sometimes, because I go crazy at them motherfuckers sometimes, I'll lose it. So, yeah.
You're coaching now.
Yeah, I be coaching, I help. I don't coach, but I help my son's high school team. I coach the high school team. Yeah, I did. this age, it's like a AU team this summer. Yeah, I did that. I enjoyed it too. I had fun doing it.
Man, I like your story because I think a lot of young guys are just the guys that, I mean, I'm older, but you're older than me, but the younger guys who pay attention to handles and some of that other stuff, they're paying attention to you, your story, and more. And I kind of feel like you guys didn't have social media, but you have stories.
Right.
That I think the younger people can relate to. Because once you play in the NBA, you set. When you talk to younger guys who aspire to be in the league, guys who, look up to the LeBrons, look up to the Kawhis and more, what advice do you give them on their NBA journey if that's what they want to pursue?
Well, just trust and believe, and and don't give up on your dream. And if that's what you want to do, pursue that. And but you got to put that work in. It's not an easy journey, And everybody thinks it's easy, man. And then once you start putting that work in, and then you're like, God damn, man, this shit ain't as easy as I thought it is. Now I want to take the day off. No, you can't take the day off, motherfucker. You got to go another day. You got to. It's that work ethic. Make sure you got that work ethic, and make sure you're working on your craft, and make sure you're getting better every day at what you do on that basketball court. Every day you walk with that court, and you're supposed to say, "Damn, okay, I got something out of that today." And then I can go and lay down and do whatever the hell I want to do the rest of the day, and I can be comfortable with that. That's all. Just be who you are. Be a dog. And don't never be scared of no man out there on the basketball court. Fuck a man on the basketball court, because we all human beings. And fuck it. If a man, if he was better than you that day, that's just what the hell it is. But compete. Just always compete, and that's what I say. All right.
Man, I appreciate your time. I'm sitting here looking at your Instagram. You done gone from the short, looking in reverse, the short fade to the high mini fro with the fade. I think you're aging in reverse, Max.
Scoop B Radio.
I know. Everybody say that, man, but I know I can't. I don't know, man. I can't gain no weight, and I can grow hair, and I do it now. I grow it out every now and then, especially in the wintertime. I guess it's cold, so I just play with the shit, man. I'm gonna cut this shit off here next month, probably next 2 weeks or so. I'll be back down low, bald head or something.
That's real. That's real, brother. I thank you for your time. As I told you before we got on the air, my fondest memory of you is when you played for the Hornets, and pregame, you gave me your sneakers. You signed them. They were white and gray Converse sneakers. Yep. And you signed them for me after the game, and I never forgot that.
I know which ones you're talking about, man. I appreciate you, Scoop. Hey, man, it's my pleasure. Hey, man, thanks for having me on the show, man. I enjoyed it, man. I had a good time.
My brother. Thank you so much. You're off the hot seat.
All right, man. Thanks, man. Love.
All right, love, man.
And this is Scoop B Radio saying, you bring the coffee, and I'll bring the Dunkin'. Come on!